All right, Catch on Invest, the brief GME update. Of course, the saga continues to unfold. The split has been completed. Post-split, we saw an immediate spike in the borrow rate, like 124% after it was floating in the 30s. We'll talk more on that in another video. But of course, none of this is financial advice. These are just my personal thoughts and opinions. But I want to talk about Blockbuster, right? Ryan Cohen has tweeted directly at Blockbuster, right? And Blockbuster's Twitter just comes back to life out of nowhere after like basically being irrelevant since they closed, right? For like 5+ years. So what could this mean, right? Or why does this matter? Just imagine how epic it would be if Ryan Cohen is actually using GameStop to buy out Blockbuster and maybe even like Sears, right? So you might be like, okay, what is this guy talking about? So Blockbuster and Sears are both bankrupt, right? In the past, Ryan Cohen has tweeted the picture of the Sears sign getting taken down. And with Blockbuster, he tweeted like a crap emoji or something, like with the picture of a Blockbuster. I don't remember exactly, right? But basically he's tweeted about both of them. And both of them, when you look back, had members of BCG on their board. Both of them wound up going bankrupt, right? And both of them are now pink sheet stocks that just hold pretty much like the brand name and like whatever's left of anything under the entity of Sears and under the entity of Blockbuster, there's like a pink sheet stock that tracks like one for each of those, right? So the purpose for that being like, okay, well, why would it still trade, right? It's like whatever tiny bit is left, right? And it's obviously delisted because they're not making any money or anything. But remember the seller boxing DD and what Mark Cuban said when he came to the Wall Street Bets Ask Me Anything. He said their goal is to never cover their short. And the seller boxing DD taught us that if you push the stock to 0.0001, now your stock, if you're shorting that stock, if you short it from like whatever amount of dollars, say like $20 a share, all the way down to 0.0001, now you have a position, right, that's worth a ton more than when you opened it. But if you never close that position, you never have to pay taxes on it, right? Now, guess what? That position is technically under your assets under management, right? And which means if you're a big bank or hedge fund or market maker, any of them, they're all using massive leverage, right? They don't actually physically hold the cash for every single investment they make. So if part of their leverage that's been used to like be worked against GameStop is some of these zombie companies that they just never closed their short position, because they've acted really odd. Look at the Sears chart, look at the Blockbuster chart, and they're very weird. Like they just spike at weird times, like 0.007 or something like that, right? Things of that nature. Very odd. And it's like, is Ryan Cohen, because you know he's reading everything we're reading. Like he likes tweets, like he interacts, he low-key tweets stuff from like the subreddit in the past, right? Like Super Stonk. Is he playing like 4D chess while everyone else playing checkers? Is he about to go acquire all these companies and put them under GameStop? Because if he acquires them, right, I don't know exactly what happens to those pink sheet stocks, but in theory, if that short position is still out there, it's now going to be exposed. Like imagine he's just taking Sears, Blockbuster, a bunch of other companies that went bankrupt, and that he saw this happen to, that happened to have BCG members and just a lot of corrupt things and just massive short interest that never got exposed. He just exposes it all at once by creating GMERICA, takes GameStop off the regular stock exchange and takes all these other pink sheet companies, puts them on GMERICA with Bed Bath, and he says, look what I have here, and we have a financial revolution on our hands. Of course, this is a very optimistic video, and that is a definite long shot what I'm saying, but just to see that Ryan Cohen is probably about to do something with Blockbuster, right? They filed the thing for NFTs back in January. Sears Assets Corp, or whatever's left of it, filed something that would be used or need to be filed basically for an acquisition. They filed that this past June, like a month ago. So it's like some really interesting stuff, and it's like kind of feels like the stock split dividend was like kickoff of like, okay, GameStop is really going to start talking about what they're doing now, here and there, sporadically. Of course, they don't want anyone to know what they're doing, but I think they've been plotting this whole time, and this is the kind of stuff that's been going on behind the scenes. These predictions are definitely predictions, and very bold ones, that is, but if any of it is even true, if anything remotely like this is going on, GameStop has so much more in store, right? Like so much more in store. I'm so excited to see what happens regardless, but just some of my quick thoughts about what I see going on, and I'm just theorizing a little bit, but hope you have a great day, great rest of your weekend. Take care. I like the stock.